Well, hello, beautiful artisans. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. Look at this pile of fabrics I have. If you are new to the channel, we create with all recycled fabrics, materials, and supplies, and it's our way of giving the earth a little hug. And I'd really like to step that up in the future, somehow where maybe we plant a tree once a month. And really, because we are making a difference. And it may not seem like we are, but collectively, when we all are, we're going to the thrift shop, we're extending the life of fabric instead of throwing it. I will tell you, I've seen people throwing bags of almost brand new clothing into the dump. I'm telling you, it does happen. You don't think it happens, but it happens. That's how it's all getting there, right? But anyway, this is so, and if you're coming back, welcome back. If I didn't say it, I'm saying it again. I'm so grateful to have you. Now, I do love it if you comment, but if you don't feel like commenting, that's okay. But if you do a like, then it gives me an idea that you really like this type of video. So I'm trying to hone in on what are the type of videos that my artisans really like. And I totally know Boro inspired and Kawandi inspired, and those are my loves too. So that's super easy, but I would love to know because I am also a crochetist. I can crochet up the yin yang, right? And I go through times when I'm just crocheting, crocheting, crocheting. So I'd love to know if any of you are out there crocheting, especially in the area of creative crochet. So we can get I just I love mixing crochet and fabrics. So maybe that's something we can start looking at a little bit closer in the next several months. So with that said, so this piece, this is going to be the base as we were talking about. Now this piece is, it's the type, it's like a meshy in areas, and it's very light. It's lovely. And this is the kind of piece that when you sew, you can very easily do a shibori effect. So we're going to measure this before and after because very quickly my vision changed as I'm thinking of actually laying these pieces onto this piece of fabric. Now, not all of the sides have the fringe, but there's a few things. I may not put a backing on this. So you're like, Carmella, you have to. You've got to put a backing. We do not, because in the authentic or the ancient pieces, they didn't always put backings. Those stitches were visible, sashiko, visible on the front, visible on the back. So we do have a choice on that. So it's an artistic piece. Now look here on this side. This has no fringes. This, like, I cut them off because I was using them for something, I think like a beards on the gnomes. But I can fold that over even a couple times, probably I want to, and leave it open so I can put my dowel through there. So this piece would go like this. Now I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I can tell you right off the bat, this is going to pull in, and I'd like it to kind of be like this, like the one behind me. I'd like it to be uneven like that. But this even gives me more opportunity to, if you want to say it this way, construct a build, create, artistically manipulate the piece. Now on the side, this is been cut, and then there's fringes. But guess what? I might pull those right out and make more fringes, or I might just kind of put a piece or just let it taper like that. I just love it. So I love this piece. We will start laying our fabrics onto that today. And I'm going to tell you, well, okay, let's just go ahead because I was going to start talking about the colors, but I think it's easier to talk to you about these colors as I show you. So this is absolutely lovely. And as you know, this is a cotton, but this is such a light light layered cotton that I might use this in this in this project. So we'll see. I'm going to put that over there. This satin, guess what? It's going to the side for now because I have no vision with this. I have no emotion. I have nothing feeling, nothing. I don't know what it's going over there. This one, um, yeah, this might be interesting. Now, mind you, this is a Boro inspired piece. However, I am borrowing the early American and early English way of and actually I want to say Dutch. Way back in history when they came to the United States, they were doing appliques onto their quilts. And so appliques and little in old England with the little maybe rosettes. We'll see. But so this piece will work its way into the project, but I think it's not going to be right away. I could be wrong because I am minute to minute. So this piece is one that I got at the thrift shop this morning, and it's simply a dress, but I thought it was in not good shape. Like it's actually worn. This dress has been worn. And one of the ways you can tell is looking at the underarms, you can always tell. So I didn't feel bad about buying it and like I'm gonna cut it up. But I thought I'd wait till I'm with you to look at if we can figure out what the fabric is. So this is made in Indonesia, and the company is Co-op Frame, and I don't see any other tags telling me what the fabric is. So it kind of feels slightly like, I think it's acrylic or synthetic for sure. So, but look, it has buttons on the back too that I can use for other projects, and I will. So I love this because this is a deep coral. This is one of my favorite colors. So, and I say that when you're creating, it doesn't matter, if it's technical or creative, freestyle, whatever you're doing, as long as you love what you're doing is what matters. If you're working, like I'm going to tell you, if I forced myself right now to work with this, I'd be miserable. And I couldn't even figure out how to make it look nice. I don't care for this. Now it could work its way into the project. Okay, now this one, I picked this up. I kid you not. I looked at the tag on this particular one, but not in the store. But I picked it up and I'm like, this is nice and soft, but it's probably not silk. You know what I mean? And so I looked, and I'm just going to look again now with the magnifying. So this is, let's find the tag. There are tags in here that tell us what it is. Here it is. And I just want to make sure I was looking at it correctly. So many tags. Dry clean only. Yeah, I kid you not. This is 100% silk. $1.99. 100% silk. I would love silk in this project. It's a small blouse. I almost kind of was like, but no. This is small. Because 100% silk, I may have thought about it. But anyway, so we're going to put that. That's definitely going in the project. This one you saw before. This. This one we got this morning. And then there's one more. So this one so I'm loving, again, the bright splash of floral and a deeper red, pink, You see that coral, magenta, and let's see if it gives us what it is. Oh, it's 100% rayon, and it's by St. John's Bay, and it's my size. I don't know. It's beautiful. I mean, look, I do that. I was looking specifically for small. This is quite nice. Anyway, I do want this part of the project, but it's rayon. We'll see. We'll see how it fits in. Now, this is the other piece I got. I got this for 50 cents. I don't know if there is a tag. There's a tag. So this is 100% polyester made in China. And I just wanted to see there's no name of the company. So look at this though. Now, granted, these are felt and they could be pressed and fused and glued on because I don't see any stitches. But that makes it even more appealing to me because and this yeah, we know that's not silk. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful design. It looks nice. Definitely the life of the fabric right here it's still new. There's a lot left to this fabric. Okay, so now the next thing what I'm going to do is start laying these out a little bit onto my base. And so we're going to do that next. So I'm going to set this up so we can do it and you can see it, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, everyone. So I'm over here in a different angle so we can actually both see the base. So this is my favorite part of designing. That's why I grabbed a cup of coffee. It is just such a relaxing, beautiful, I just love the peace that overcomes me and the joy and happiness that occurs. Now, this is how I start. I'm just bringing you with me. I simply figure out what pieces I am drawn to greatly and what I would like to see on this piece. So, and this is it's going to be a wall hanging. Now, I don't know if I emphasized this in the first part, but yeah, when we sew this particular piece, it's really going to lose measure. It's going to lose some inches. There's the way I'm thinking I want to do it. Like this piece up here, you can you saw this before. I'm going to move this a tiny bit closer. And you see the unevenness on all sides, and that's really, really what I want. So, okay, I'm just going to, so this one I really want. This piece. I'm going to put this down so you can actually see the pieces because what I want you to see is what I'm seeing is first of all, let me make sure I have the right side. Yes. This is side up. Now, I love that. So, and I adore this. This has the birds and the color. So I'm loving those next to each other. So those are definitely a yes. This one I like, but I'm putting over here for the moment. I love my blue piece. This is lovely. I've had this for so long. I'm kind of, on the edge of like, yeah, it's going to have to go to the thrift shop, but I think it will fit in lovely. And then I love this yellow. Now these are not necessarily the the order which they're going in here. It's just simply me playing around. But when you put these colors next to each other and then and then you switch them out a little bit, or you actually, when you get your cut pieces and you are, this piece, yeah, that might go pretty darn good there. I'm going to hold this for a moment. This is lovely. I love this. I love this. I'm going to crisscross them a little so you can see. This way you can see what this particular color, I mean, look, that's going across it. That makes this one pop. It's just lovely. This teal or blue is kind of along the same coloring or hues as this one. So this might be something to play around with a little bit. So I'm going to put that there. This I just love. I love that with just about anything. Now this has the same kind, it's a it's a different texture than this material we got this morning, but the colors are very close to the same. But this will have a different effect just because of the design, and it is a different texture. So this one I'm going to not use. I'm going to put that up on the couch with the other. So, and I've got more of this yellow, which I adore. And then we have the blue. Don't know what to do with this yet for the moment. And the same with this. I'm on the fence with this one. This might actually, see, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that does kind of pop right there. So I will cut a piece out of this one. And this one I don't know. This one I just really do not know right now. So I'm going to just put this to the side. And okay, so I'm loving the colors. So the very next thing I'm going to do, because I know for sure I want these colors, is I'm going to cut some pieces out, and then we're going to proceed to lay out our design. Boro inspired method. Okay, everyone, so I had to kind of move the camera again. I'm trying to get as much of a view of this as possible. So this is, let's measure this. I'll tell you what it is for width. And so it's about 45, but I could see it easily losing some inches, kind of different parts of it. So it's pretty much of a square, so it's probably close to 45, if not 45 going down also. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to see here the top, because I want to be able to fold the top and make sure that I have space between where I'm folding it and when I fold it down like that. Now I'm going to do this a little differently, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to fold it like this first and just leave it. I'm not sewing it yet. I'm going to actually, do the design and leave it like that for now. And right before I decide to stitch, then I'll decide how I really want to do that. Now, with that said, I want to explain that there's a few different ways, and some of you already know this and some of you don't. But there's a few different ways that you can do Boro, create Boro. Now, in the day, in the 1400s, during the Edo period, 1600s, 1800s, so during these centuries that the Japanese laborers, the farmers and the fishermen and the families, they were sewing and creating Boro. They were doing it in different ways. They were mainly repairing and mending and amending. So they were adding scraps to existing garments, let's say. that were already used. And yes, some of them were building and constructing garments. They were building and constructing futons, blankets, things like this. So there are many different versions of Boro, authentic Boro. So the spin-off from that is different versions of the inspired. So like I was saying, I love this fabric and I haven't fully envisioned, but as I work, many times I do, I start envisioning what I'm thinking, not in such detail that I know exactly what fabrics I'm putting. Sometimes I do, but I do know on this piece, um, I was thinking I didn't want it completely covered, but at the same time, I'm really not sure how that's going to come out. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to go with my gut on this. I'm going to go with my creative energy flow. As I go along, if I see a spot that I want to leave a space of this base, of this beautiful material that I love, I will leave it. And if I want to put maybe a little stacking of a Boro patches in the middle or somewhere, something this and that, I'll do that. So that's how we're just going to go about it. I'm not going to analyze it. And with you right now, we're going to do the first couple of rows, and then I'll start stitching. If I'm really comfortable with that first row, we'll start stitching. So with that, I feel like I want to put this piece, and sometimes when they have the buttons, it's okay to leave the buttons. This one we didn't cut on the video, I just cut it, and because we had missed that one. But and now the other thing is, what I do usually. I pin down till I'm completely done with my design. So with that said, it's possible if I'm not feeling really good about those first couple of rows, I won't stitch. We may end up stitching when I completely design the piece. So let's see. We could end up completely designing today or tomorrow, but let's at least. So I feel really good about this piece. I'm going to put it here. That's where I'm going to put it. Now this piece is kind of folded, and that's okay. The gathers are totally fine. That's okay. If you want the gathers out, you want to cut them out, you can cut the elastic that's out of the, oh, there's not even elastic, it's just a simple sewing gathering. Now I may do a couple of versions of this because I did feel like I wanted it to be like that piece on the wall. And then like I just started really having something about this base. I wanted the base. The other side of this is if we cover this side, the other side, the backing, we don't have to put a backing. So the back would have the stitching that I'm envisioning. So this is the creative process at play. And thank you for being with me on it. So these pieces are rather large. So I need to pull this up more. And I've got, that's my computer wire there. And then this is coming down there. So now once these pieces get in place and they're pinned, then I'm more able to bring them to the table and start sewing, and and I can lay it out on the floor individually as I desire. Look at this though. Okay, now I'm backing up pretty much underneath the table. So I kind of want to get as much of this as I can on camera. Okay, now we're just going to play around because Boro, I love this piece, and it's almost no matter what you do with it. I thought I wanted that, but I don't. So I'm going to take that off. And this I like right here. Now you can take your little Pekin scissors and cut the extra fraying off. You can cut that off, or you can leave it on. It depends what you want. Some artists leave it on because I can't emphasize this enough. This is truly an art piece. And the authentic Boros are art pieces too. They're just not your typical, and this is what people really don't know what this is when they see it. They honest to God do not know. Now, if they saw it in an art gallery, they'd be able to relate a little bit better to it. But seeing it and kind of having their mind set like they're looking for a little gift or this and that, they may not connect that this is what it is. Now, that looks lovely there. It looks lovely there. I just love this piece. So we lay it out like that. Now this is our yellow piece that I just adore. Whoops. So I'm gonna bring the camera over here after because you start seeing this light up. It just does. I mean, but you gotta go with your heart. You have to go with your heart. If your heart is telling you you want to do it a different way, go with it because that's the way. Now, some of these, I think this is the underside, and I don't want that. I want the brighter side of that. I want the brighter. And what I'm going to do with this is, look, I'm kind of doing this. You see what I'm doing? I want to do a little shibori with that. I want to do a little shibori. And let's see, I'm going to bring this piece. This is funny. No matter which way I turn it, the birds are upside down. I guess because they're just kind of flying around. But no, I'm gonna do shibori with this, but I'm gonna just let me hold out for a minute because yeah, I think just like that. Just like that, that's good. And this I want to overlap. Now, do I have to overlap? No, I do not. I can do stacking, you know, I can like here's a little piece here. Now, am I going to mix my fabrics? No, I'm going to stay with, well, yes, in the sense that some of these may be oh, I like that, but let me get that piece off. Some of these may be oh, I like that. They may be polyester, acrylic, synthetics, but they're silky. So no, I'm not putting the cotton in or diverting greatly on the textures. I'm kind of staying with a smooth, silky texture. Now the other thing you could do, like I'm doing here, is that just kind of fell like that. It just kind of fell like that. But there is another bird there, and I really like that. So, and look at, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of fraying on that. So I'm going to bring that over after and show that to you. This looks a little sparse to me thus far. Now, so it needs more. It needs, it's not done. So let's see here. And by any means, and I'm not doing, now we will do another one like that. This may come out like that. I don't know. I don't know yet because I'm kind of playing around with my creative process right now. and just going with my gut. So, oh, guess what though? This is going to be bird themed. I didn't even think of it because this is birds. This is birds. Didn't even think of that. Now, I'm running out of room, so a couple things. For the moment, I'm going to now, mind you, I have um I have a blanket underneath this. So if I move this piece, I mean, if when I pin, I could accidentally pin part of that, but I definitely want that to be shibori. So I'm just trying to capture that right there. Okay, so I'm just going to move this up a tiny bit more. And that's all we really need is a few more inches, and then you can see a little better on what's going on. Whoops. Yeah, I want that frayed like that. Okay. So now we haven't really gotten to kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go like this. This is a large, large piece. And I'm going to put it under here. You know what we're going to do? I am going to cover this piece. And I'm not putting the backing on. So the stitching I'm thinking of will be on the back. So it will be two pieces of art. So that's how I'm going to do this. So now that changes everything just a bit. So I'm going to come back up and we're just going to lay out the design that way. So here I am back up here. And this, I definitely want to leave a shibori. But what it changes is I am going to go around the perimeter here. So now, am I worried that I'm going to be perfectly on the perimeter? No, I'm not. I'm not worried about that. And because that's not, and I may leave spaces anyway, but I'm doing now a different kind of an approach. And it might seem a little similar. I want to pull that in a little for like shibori. I know I want that to be. And let me pin this up here. So there's going to be different phases to this. It's going to be me starting my design a little raw, and then it's going to be me coming back around and adding. I'm going to be coming back around. I'm trying to think while I'm designing. That is hard. And so yeah, I'm just going to put that down there and put this here. Yeah, or like this. And I'm going to come down here. Okay, now I feel like we might start getting an effect of shibori. I'm doing my Boro. I'm doing my overlapping. And again, for this particular piece, I am not worried about my sides. I'm not worried about my sides. And I'm just not, because I want to overlap. I want to get the effect that I've been maybe adding patches throughout years, from generation to generation, maybe. I've been building this. I want to kind of get that effect. This is a large piece, so I'm just going to kind of, I don't know if I'm leaving these. So I don't, Now you could begin stitching, but I don't know. I think we're going to just do this complete layout. And I kind of felt like that on and off from the beginning because that's part of the creative process. I'm kind of making this a little shibori again. And now for those of you who are like, what the heck are you saying, shibori, Carmella? Shibori is it's essentially the process of manipulating the fabric. Um, it was and still is done actually in Japan with wool and silk, but with a whole process of like super hot water, steaming boiling water and placing different molds, you might say, inside the fabrics. And I would love to do that. We should do that sometime. Like you take a rock and you tie it in. I've done this. I've done it with my wool, and it's lovely. It's lovely. So we could do it. Um, so we'll think about that. That would be like just a project in itself, just so you could see. So yeah, I mean, I like that. I like this kind of coming, that opening there. And I kind of, so this is shibori there. So um I'm feeling like that maybe some of these pieces need to be smaller, and the next time you see this, it could look very different. So I kind of think I want that as a shibori piece, but I want it smaller. I actually want that smaller. And I want to leave kind of that on there like that. I just want to place it. So yeah, I like that. I like that. It's not fully, I'm not fully feeling the vision on this yet. But okay, so we've got some more pieces here. And we've got this here too. That's a sleeve that I cut there. And I don't think I want another huge piece like that. I think I want it to be smaller. So I'm going to get this to where I want it. Oh, I'm loving this. See, I love the jagged edges that come about. And because it's a play on your imagination, on your eyes, on your your interpretation of what you're looking at. And I don't want it to be obvious. I don't want it to be, I like that. I'm feeling like that might be too big, but this is going to come together. The idea is to keep it, okay, now we have this one too. Look, this one, we didn't really know what we were going to do with that. So, I feel like that's got smaller, and I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put it there for the moment. And you're like, well, Carmella, you're not going in straight rows back and forth. This is a type of free form Boro method of Boro building. Why is it Boro? The edges are raw, they're scrap fabrics. I'm overlapping the pieces and I'm reusing them. And I'm going to do my sashiko stitching, which will bring it home and to create that Boro piece. So, or Boro inspired. So I feel like this fabric that needs to be over there. So what I'm going to do is, I guess I'm going to continue designing, and knowing myself, I could take it apart It's very possible. And do it again. Very possible. Kind of playing around with it. I don't know. We'll have to see if that happens. And I feel like the piece, all in all, needs, see, like this, a little bit more overlapping, a little bit more building. And this is going to go down there. And it's just a lovely. Yeah, I really, really like this. I can see with the stitches in it too. This is going to be just lovely. So, okay, with that, I think what I'm going to do is play around with it a little bit more, come back, and so we'll have a part 2 to this because I want to be able to show you a final design. You probably don't want to watch me back and forth for the next 2 hours. And I'm sure that won't be a, yeah, we'll come back. And then tomorrow we'll be ready, most likely to stitch, at least to begin stitching. So with that, I hope that that helped. I'm going to bring this up here a little bit so you can see just kind of the mix and array of colors. When shibori is manipulated with sewing, it is absolutely lovely. And you can make little rosettes if you want, or you can just make little, gathers. It doesn't matter, or you can just do a tiny little bit, but it makes such a beautiful effect. I really want that there, but I don't know. So, but yeah, we'll see. And sometimes I have to kind of go just kind of with what I've got and then let it take, as it does, a life of its own on. So I particularly love the fraying, and I want to leave that. And I have a thin thread. These are the threads right here. These are very, very thin, as opposed to our larger lacy crochet threads. And I do have my sashiko needle ready to go, and this is so sharp, it's ridiculous. I'm almost afraid of those. But anyway, with that, I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And thank you for being with me. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer.